What's going on, everybody? Today we'll be talking about the change at the offensive coordinator position, who we might see and when we might see it for the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, we've all heard the news by now that on January 13th, Tuesday this past week, we did let go of Kevin Patullo, which was about 18 weeks overdue. You could say 15 maybe, needed a few games to really see. But, the past is the past and we're moving along now, so let's go ahead. And it would be nice to see a new offensive coordinator step in and take charge of this offense, especially one with the talent they do have. So we're going to be talking about A.J. Brown today as well. There's a lot of news around him. Those are the two topics I wanted to cover today, is offensive coordinator change and A.J. Brown, where he stands as a Philadelphia Eagle right now. So let's jump right into it, guys. Which offensive coordinators are the Eagles looking at right now? There's a few names. Seems to me like those top three are the ones that I'm hearing the most commonly. I keep hearing Todd Monken, also Brian Daboll, and Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel was the Miami Dolphins former head coach who just got let go a few weeks back. Can't remember exactly when that did happen. It might be on one of these headlines right here in front of me. Mike McDaniel's style is known for a lot of pre-snap motion, stressing defenses out, kind of getting them off their heels and messing up their game plan pretty much as far as how they're lining up against our offense. So that could benefit the Birds in that way as far as keeping them on their heels, keeping them guessing. Like I said, a lot of pre-snap motion, which will get the guys on the opposing defense kind of out of whack, I guess you could say. Overall known for speed, motion, and deception against defenses. Then we still got Todd Monken and Brian Daboll to talk about. Brian Daboll, former Giants head coach, who also coached Jalen Hurts back in Alabama, so there is some familiarity there. Brian Daboll is a really interesting pick. I'm kind of torn between him and Todd Monken. I honestly might think Brian Daboll even more so, not only because he does have that familiarity with Jalen Hurts, but he is known for building around his quarterback and his quarterback style. So he's kind of able to mold and fit right into what a quarterback likes. He's also known for being able to build an offense around a quarterback who can run the ball and be aggressive with it, which is exactly what Jalen Hurts is. Not so much this past season, but he definitely is that in his DNA. Not to mention, Brian Daboll is also known to be an aggressive and high leverage moment situations type of coach, which is exactly the opposite of what we got this past season. And what we also did not experience this past year that Brian Daboll is good at is good offensive awareness, just situational game awareness. KP seemed to have none of that at all. That's a whole story of its own. No need to really even beat a dead horse on that. We already know how bad it was, so no need to even cover that. You guys know what's up there. Moving on to Todd Monken, former Ravens offensive coordinator, known for helping build Lamar Jackson to MVP status in 2023. He's the type of offensive coach who's known for structure and spacing. Like the former OCs we've mentioned, he does also use a lot of motion and is really good at creating break-in routes, which is pretty much A.J. Brown's bread and butter. So not only do I think he could build our offense closer to its fullest potential, but he'd also be good to quell A.J. Brown's concerns if A.J. Brown is even going to stick around. So moving on from offensive coordinators, that's the perfect segue to jump on over to talking about A.J. Brown. As far as A.J. Brown as a player goes, I have his stats pulled up for you right here from 2019 up until current, past 4 years with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's had a very successful career so far with the Eagles. His first year coming in with almost 1,500 yards, followed by a second year almost 1,500 yards, and the past two just over 1,000 yards each. And you can see that immediately he experienced a jump with the Philadelphia Eagles, going from 800 yards his prior season to 1,400 with the Eagles, and that has to be something that he feels as a player. Two numbers I want to focus on in combination here, guys, is yards per game, which is this column right here with my arrow on it. And then over here at the very end where it says AV is a statistic that we call approximate value, which takes into consideration big plays, key plays, first down plays, touchdowns, and things of that sort, high yardage plays that a player gets. But I want to focus on these two numbers together because in combination they do tell you a lot. As we see here, yards per game did take a dip to 66.9 from prior years. This is almost his lowest and is his lowest as an Eagle significantly. Lowest year before that was 83 yards per game. Right now he's at 67 with this last year closing out. And then over there at the very end, AV this past year where I got a highlighted yellow bottom right corner is 9. Last year's with the Eagles were 12, 15, and 16. So this is also a dip. When you see these two numbers dip, that usually indicates offensive coordinator issues, not doing a good job extracting the most talent out of a player. So yards per game tells you how much a player produces, while AV tells you how much that production actually matters. And when you see that both of these numbers are high, that's a sign that the player is a true star, which we already know that about AJ Brown. That wasn't in question. I'm just putting the numbers on the paper here and showing them to you, especially because when you look at this last year with the Eagles, you do see a dip in both of them. AV at 9 is not bad. It's actually in the very good to solid category. If you have an AV from about 7 to 9, 13 plus is considered elite and all pro. And also if you look at his catch percentage, even for the poor play calling, he's at 64.5. That's this number sort of in the middle here, 64.5. You see that's pretty consistent with where he's been throughout his whole entire career. So it's not like AJ Brown is taking a dip. I bring this up, guys, just to show you that I do consider AJ Brown a cornerstone player. We could get into the locker room issues and the drama around him, his social media antics and stuff like that, if that is good or bad for the team. But outside of that part, as far as the drama goes, performance on the field, I do definitely consider him a cornerstone player. Unfortunately, he did have 3 huge drops in that playoff game, but to be honest, I don't think we're going far throughout the playoffs anyway. I hate to say that, but after seeing that game versus the 49ers, a banged up, bruised up team we had no business losing to, that proved to me that we weren't going anywhere. Stubbornly, I held on to hope even until that game. I thought maybe there's a possibility we break out something new. Silly me for thinking so. So unfortunately, that did not happen. So guys, it'll be a while for us to see exactly what is going to happen with the AJ Brown situation. I'll keep my eye on it and keep you posted. I expect that to unfold over the next couple of months, more so than the next few weeks. But as far as the offensive coordinator situation, that should be somewhat of a quick thing. And by quick, I mean maybe few days, if not at least in the next few weeks here, we should be getting some more information about that. I do know that the people that are possible for that position are also exploring other options as well. So we kind of got to let other NFL teams hire head coaches first. Once those higher paying jobs go, then we'll see the offensive coordinator positions open up to all the people that are out there looking for jobs right now in the NFL. Like I said, hopefully we land Brian Daboll or Todd Monken. I think one of those two will be a great fit for the Eagles and possibly send us to the Super Bowl next year. I definitely got high hopes for the team for next season. Can't wait to see them play. It's going to be a while, but in the meantime, we'll see what Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie cook up, since they're kind of giving Nick Sirianni the backseat to a degree. Maybe I can talk about that in the next video. But until then, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Ray at Flyby Eagles 609, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.